So this is a hand-built, nitro finished, roasted pine body, roasted maple neck with hand-wound pickups. Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at my new Telecaster. So this is an LSL ERA T-style. So for anyone not familiar with LSL, they are a California-based custom shop, and the ERA series is a concept they've been looking at recently, which basically aims to make a custom shop quality level guitar at a much more affordable price point. So the main way that LSL are able to achieve this is by offering this line with a much reduced set of spec options compared to their other lines. They do have lines where you can spec out whatever you want. However, these are a much more kind of streamlined to the most popular kind of standardized spec sets that most people will feel comfortable on. I'll take us through the specs, of course, over the video, and I'll dot some playing clips throughout so we can hear them, particularly with these hand-wound pickups. And then I'll talk a little bit at the end about who I think this guitar might be aimed at. So the body one on here is roasted pine, and that gives it a very lightweight, and we do get the option between roasted alder, and I decided to go with pine just to keep it in line with the original 50s guitars that we saw. I don't know the exact weight, but I'm going to say about 6.5, maybe 7 pounds. Certainly one of the lightest guitars I own, and that's definitely in part to do with the roasted body. I've also got a roasted maple neck, and we get the choice between a maple or a rosewood fretboard. Again, I wanted to go 50s on this one, so I went for the maple. Now in terms of the finish, we've got a flash coat of Nitro on here, which is basically a very thin vintage style way of finishing guitars, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. Now here I've got LSL's hand-wound pickups. The typical option with these series is the Seymour Duncan Noiseless, which are a good sounding pickup set. This is my second LSL, and the last one had, in the bridge position, it had the LSL hand-wound pickup, so I decided to go with the same set of pickups just because I really liked how that one sounded. That's on a 3-way selector, master volume, master tone. All the hardware is proprietary to LSL, so it's made in the factory. Got vintage style, so we've got vintage style ashtray bridge and the 3 brass saddles there. We've got a nitrate pickguard, so that's going to wear nicely with the nitro finish body. So moving on to the neck, we've got a very familiar set of dimensions here. We've got a 25.5 inch scale length and a 9.5 inch radius. We've got a medium C profile, and we've got 21 medium jumbo frets. So as I say, very kind of standard dimensions, meaning that anyone should feel pretty comfortable on this guitar. Now moving up top, we've got the 6 inner line vintage style staggered tuners, which are again going to help with that break angle, keep us nice and in tune. So in terms of pickup options for this, we can have SS, which I've got here, we can have HS, we can have a P90 in the neck with a single coil in the bridge, or we can also have humbucker or P90 humbucker. So quite a range to choose from, as I say, despite the fact that these are offered at a reduced set of spec options. So I mentioned before that this is a flash coat of Nitro, and this is basically a traditional way of finishing guitars from yesteryear, meaning that it's really going to let the guitar breathe and resonate really well. So it's certainly one of the guitars that I own that sustains the longest. If I just hit a chord, we'll hear that ringing out for a long time. You can feel it resonating through the body. I don't know how well that's going to translate over YouTube, but certainly in the hands it's a very lively feeling guitar. Now, one thing to know about Nitro, and certainly a flash coat of Nitro, is that it does wear in a much more kind of organic way than a poly finish guitar. It's much harder to ding a poly finish guitar, so one of the things I would say is if you're looking for a guitar that's going to stay immaculate for the length that you own it, Nitro probably isn't a finish that you're going to be wanting to look at from any company. I'm particularly a flash coat, so the idea here is that with it being such a thin finish that it's very easy to kind of wear through. It's going to give you a very nice kind of wear pattern. Over the course of a few months of playing this, few years, it's going to get some really nice kind of fade in here. I know for some people you're going to want the guitar to stay immaculate as possible. For me, I liked the idea of a guitar that will age as I play it without having to have an artificial relic job. I'm certainly not against relic jobs, but I think the idea it can get that organically, but maybe at a slightly accelerated pace, was quite an appealing factor with this guitar. So that leads me on to who I think this guitar might be aimed at, and I would say it's really at people who like the vintage aesthetic, the vintage feel of a guitar. It's, as I say, very high quality. It's something that you can rely on. It's going to stay in tune. It's lightweight, so it's not going to make your shoulder and your back ache from playing longer sets, but also doesn't come with the price point of conventional custom shops, be it from the higher end of LSL or Fender or any of the other companies that offer them. As I say, that Nitro finish is going to age as we play it, so if that's something that you're looking for, and again it's going to age relatively quickly compared to a Nitro over a poly sealer or something like that, it's really going to show some nice wear patterns. And I will be posting a follow-up video with this to show the play wear patterns that we end up with. As ever, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please do click like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.